Vikings and Upper Dolphin Joint were big rivals. Okay, they were close in proximity. And what happened is the sports teams just simply put started to win. Okay. I'll talk more about that in just a minute. So once again, let's be crystal clear. You did have the four elementaries, okay? Barrysburg here, Elizabethville. Over here we had Likens and Gratz. So they were the four elementaries. Likens actually had grades 7 through 8 until this building was ready and until they built the middle school. But that's the Likens school. Likens did have its own school. I want to talk about that a little bit. And again, now the Likens school would have closed in 65. You can see some names there. Bateman is on there. That would have been a relative to the Bateman. That's a borough council member up there. Redinger, also another one. I'm not sure if there's other people there. But that was the Likens. And notice Likens had championship teams also. Okay. Now, let me go back here. 1966. This would have been the football team after the merger. And you can see the word champions. What happened is the teams got together and they started winning. And everybody got over the fact that some were from Likens, some were from Upper Dolphin Joint. Quite a few names, quite a few people still around. You guys remember Mac Laniers? That's actually his grandfather. Mr. Ayers, his dad was on the team right here. Donald Ayers. My dad played football, but he would have been long out of school by then. Not long, but a couple years anyway. Jim Buffington, he was a quarterback, and his wife was a longtime teacher up at the elementary school. So again, you see champions. Take a look at the size of the band. On a Friday night. Now, this is just the varsity football team. That's not junior varsity also. That's just varsity. So if you add the junior varsity, you add the band, and then the cheerleaders on a Friday night, if there was a home game, you would actually have over 300 students involved in either band, football, or cheerleading. Pretty interesting. There were, I think they said they were counted them one time, and that there was, I think the majorettes. Now you have the band front over there on the right, but I think the majorettes one was. I think they counted 168 one time. Yeah. Mrs. Vianovich's husband. Okay, let me show you this. 1967 basketball team. Again, you see the word champions. This has been said to be the best team to ever come through Upper Dolphin area. Maybe, maybe not. If you look at the bottom there and you read through this team averaged 92, let's just round it down, 92 points a game. That was before the three-point shot, by the way. 92 points. Now, this guy right here, that's Mike Miller, said to be the best to ever come through Upper Dolphin. Obviously, that's saying a lot because we've got a lot of great players, still do have a lot of great players. He was averaging 35 points a game, the way the story goes. Well, here's what happened. They got into the last game of the season, and Upper Dolphin went up to Tri-Valley in the last game of the season. And the first play of the game, Mike came down the court, went up for a layup, and the kid from Tri-Valley took his legs out. And he came down pretty hard. Wasn't hurt, got up. Next time down the court, the same thing happened, only this time Mike tried to break his fall, put his arm out, or hand out, and broke his arm. So he was done. Gordy Foster, the guy in the middle, who I knew him very well, he did not like that, as no coach obviously would. You know, it was definitely a cheap shot. There's no two ways about it. If you ask the kid from Tri Valley today, he's still living, by the way. He'd probably say no, it wasn't. It was an accident, but no, it was. It was a cheap shot. It happened twice. Gordy Foster let the starting 4 in the whole game. Didn't sub except for this guy right here, Mike Botts, who was Macklin's grandfather. He actually went to play at Penn State. Left him in the game to replace Mike. Those 5 played the whole game. We beat Tri Valley 126-26. He was that upset about that they took his star player out. The team went the whole way through the playoffs, even without Mike. Went up against Darby Township in the semifinal game. At that time, when they went up against Darby Township, Mike couldn't play. His substitute scored 3 points that game. Mike was averaging 35. If he would have played, would we have won the state championship? We'll never know. But said to be the greatest team ever, I don't know about that. Just a story in and of itself. I'm going to ask you to take a look at a video here on Coach Shadle, Dave Shadle. He actually, sad to say, just passed away recently. He went on to serve in Vietnam not too long after this picture. He was in the Marine Corps. Longtime coach, big-time fan of Upper Dauphin area. He was on that team also. Okay, I thought this was kind of neat. I'm not going to ask you to write all this down, but just take a look at that. 65-66 when Upper Dauphin area begins. Take a look at the prices there. The Vietnam War was going on, the Voting Rights Act, The Sound of Music, the best picture, not Spider-Man, Sound of Music. So I thought that was pretty cool. Now, before this, you would have had Likens. Now, this is the Likens school, and notice in 65, the year before that picture I just showed you, they went on to be the Eastern champions. They actually lost to Bucknell in the state championship game. And some of those players that were juniors came to Upper Dauphin to play on this team. Some of those same players. So that's why that was such a great team. All right. Let's see here. Now, this is referring to Likens. I had a student do a project here on Likens. I thought this was kind of cool. When Likens had that great team, and the businesses closed for the days and things like that, things were different then. If you had a game away, sometimes they would close the school like at noontime so everybody could get to the games. I actually did that when I was in school, believe it or not. Yeah, close at 1 o'clock, get everybody out the door, get to the game. Yeah, those things happen. I thought that was kind of cool at the upper right there at Likens. They would actually ring the church bells when they won the home games. They would actually ring the victory bells. So I thought that was kind of advice, I think we get the idea. And some sources she used. Let me go back here. That's actually the team that played in the Eastern Championship. Okay, moving on, we get the idea. Again, there you got the girls team, and again, you're going to see the word champions. A lot of times the woman takes the man's last name, so a lot of those people, I don't know them from their maiden names. I thought that was kind of interesting. There's your junior varsity team. Does anybody play softball? Nobody plays softball. Does anybody know Rich Cucker, one of the coaches, by any chance? They call him Smokey. Anybody know him? Nobody knows him. Well, he's on that picture. Mr. Huffman's brother's on there. And that's just the band picture I have from that same year. Okay, so once again, the merger would have been with Likens and Upper Dauphin joint. Okay, let's do this. We'll pause with this, and I'll show you these pictures. Go into Canvas, please. And the bell ringer. Go ahead and take a look at the bell ringer. So go ahead and watch the video and then give me 3 things and make them substantial in the text box that you learned from watching the video. Okay, it's not for homework. You should be able to knock that out. When you are finished with this, grab your scavenger hunt and continue working on that. Okay? You might notice that's Madden's brother.